final segment for today, where we find out more about the Sagicor Visionaries Challenge. Joining us for this conversation, we have Olga Hererra, a Sagicor advisor, and Orlando Medina, who is from the Caribbean Science Foundation. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Now, Olga, we've been seeing the advertisement run for a while, talking about the Sagicor Visionaries Challenge. Let's just get the backdrop as to why this competition was started and for how long.
Well, the Sagicor Visionaries Challenge started 3 years ago. It's open to students from countries Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Belize, Guyana, St. Lucia, Dominica, Tampa, Florida, and Trinidad and Tobago. It is a collaboration with the Caribbean Caribbean Examination Council and the Caribbean Science Foundation that seeks to boost institutional capacity in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We feel that we have very intelligent young minds in Belize, and we feel that as a corporate citizen, that we really need to invest in these young, vibrant minds. And so as a result of that, Sagicor came into the picture as the financier to the project.
Now, the Visionaries Challenge, it is a science-based competition.
Yes.
Right? So let's talk about what type of entries you expect in the challenge.
The entries we're looking for, basically, we have students who we want them to develop innovative experiments. It's a design competition, and by that we mean that we're looking at just the design of the project. They're not asked to implement it.
Yeah.
So we're looking for effective and innovative designs that are sustainable. So when they describe the project, we're looking for, the judges will be looking for those things in those experiments. Of course, it goes back to using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to develop these experiments.
So let's just do a look back so that people can understand. This is not the first year that we've seen it, and we know of the winners. So let's talk a little bit about the winners and how they've worked to talk about the sustainability aspect of it as well.
The first competition, I believe, was in 2013. We had, back then, Bishop Martin High School had won we have a national competition and a regional competition. Bishop Martin High School they won the initial national competition, and then they went on to win the regional competition that year.
And that was with a coconut water production and sales,
Yeah, Coconut for Life, I think was the name of that project. And then, surprisingly, they came back the next year, which was, we had it 2014-15, and they won the national competition again, and they went on for the regional, but this time they came in second runner-up, which is
the Chaya
project.
The Chaya project.
So Bishop Martin has really excelled in this particular initiative, but it is something that the schools really invest a lot of time and energy into. Let's talk about what you do to be able to encourage and support the Belizean schools to ensure that they are putting forward submissions that are up to the standard that can compete regionally.
Well, normally we start with the principals. We meet with the principals at the local level, and then we start to give them information as to when the actual event will happen, and we try to stimulate them by offering good prizes. And one of the key things I was talking to Mr. Medina is that we need to give our students exposure That is so important, because when our students get exposure, they make friends with other colleagues outside of Belize. And even in Belize, because when you have students coming, for example, from Toledo, coming to Belize City, that in itself is an experience.
Yeah.
And so we offer them very good prizes for the student and the school.
For the school, yeah.
So that's a great motivation.
Yeah.
It's a positive step forward in the sense that besides we're building a lot of important skills in our science students, collaboration, working together. In fact, the Caribbean Science Foundation, that's is one of its underlying mission is to better the economies of the Caribbean countries by using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to make your living conditions better, right? And so essentially, when you go back to the essence of the projects that they were looking at is projects that they can develop that will make their communities better, right? It could be, community could be at the school level, or it could be the immediate community outside of the school. But we're looking at projects that they look at a problem in their community and they will come up with a solution to that problem, right? But the solution has to be something that is, we say, sustainable, something that will make use of the available resources. That's important, right? We're not looking for projects that are requires millions of dollars for you to accomplish.
So let's talk a little bit about the format itself. What kind of investment? Is it a paper project, or does it have tenets that are require implementation or research or some other scientific kind of input?
They would have to, as I said, look at the problem, use the scientific method to solve that problem. They're just presenting the solutions to the problem itself. We're not asking them to actually.
So they identify, I mean, it's like the fundamentals in science. They find the problem that they want to address or the area that they want to supplement, and then come up with innovative ways to be able to address them.
To solve that problem, and using, of course,
realistically as well.
Yes, using scientific concepts.
Yeah.
It's very important that they're able to identify the concepts that are there and be able to explain them. Right? So because they have to do a written component, a paper, and then they have to do the presentation. They're asked to produce, I think, 6 slides to present when they're being judged.
And to defend.
And to defend those. So they have to show that they really understand those scientific concepts and how it's applied to that particular project.
But if I can add to what Mr. Medina just said, although they don't have to really be investing in the project, they have some wonderful ideas, and we believe that the general public needs to come in to see these projects, because you may never know that if the project is that good, then there is potential investment that someone out there can help either that school to make some money.
Now, in terms of Sagicor and the partnership that you have for this project, having Belize excel in the past couple of years that it's been held, what does it mean for the local reps here? Are you motivated to be able to go back to the schools and say, you know, we've earned our place in this competition, let's try to maintain it? How competitive does it become?
I think it's very competitive. As a matter of fact, we were a little heartbroken when we heard that Bishop Martin is not participating. We felt that, you know, you were the brand for Belize.
So no three-peat for them?
It doesn't seem so. But we want schools to participate. We want schools to participate, to take advantage of this opportunity here, because it's just an experience that you may never get in life.
It's a wonderful exposure, and adding to what Mr. Hererra said, we want to appeal to the teachers, science teachers out there, the head of departments who will push the initiative at that level to have the students engage in this type of experience. It's a unique experience. She said it could be a one in a lifetime experience for them to bring forth what they have in terms of their scientific knowledge and how it can be applied in society, which is one of the key aspects of science education.
Now, Orlando, you have been talking about what would you say to a school that is contemplating this? What are some of the other benefits that students could garner from this kind of an engagement?
Well, as I said, the exposure, the fact that they're able to apply their scientific knowledge, communication skills, there's a lot of wonderful prizes that are associated with this competition here. As I was telling
We've all heard about the trip to NASA.
Yes.
Yes, that's one of the person who wins, that's the major prize that they get. But when I look at it, what's interesting for this competition, as I pointed out this morning to Ms. Hererra, is that when you look at it, the person who wins, the first runner-up, the second runner-up, they all get $1,000 US. So each one, they get that monetary reward. Of course, the person who wins gets more.
Yeah.
They get
the school gets something as well, right?
Yeah, the school, they have the people on the team, the money is for the school, the money is for the actual school. The people on the team, they have there some prizes. I think they have a Samsung.
You have a Samsung watch for each
GoPro camera.
For each student. And you have a camera that the school will get, and the teacher gets a Kindle.
Yes, and the school, they get some microscience kits, which are some science kits. They get what is called a computerized mobile science system, which is basically a small system that they can carry around that can be hooked up to a computer system to measure forces and stuff like that in physics.
So when are you still accepting, what's the timeline?
The entries were closed as of the 4th of March.
Okay.
And so we are not accepting any more entries. So right now we have
How many submissions did you get?
We have confirmed so far 10 schools that will be partaking in this event.
From all over the country?
From all over the country,
Excellent.
yes.
Have you had a sneak peek of some of the entries yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
It's always interesting to see, because these are high school students, they're teenagers, but to see the problems that they identify and how really creative they are about creating opportunities to solve them. I think it shows, as you pointed out in the very beginning, just how intelligent our children are.
They are.
And so, when is the competition? When will the judging?
March the 16th.
Okay.
It's going to be at the Princess Hotel.
And it's starting at 9 sharp.
And
so you'll have the 10 submissions, or the 10 schools present their project.
Yes, certainly.
And is it to a closed or open audience?
It's an open audience. And so it's targeting schools, students, teachers, parents.
Yes,
and we want to invite the general public, because they need to come and see the talents we have in Belize. We really have smart Belizean children.
And I'm going to reiterate that we need to invite other high schools who did not opt to sign up this time to come in, look at it, see what's happening, see what the students have to present, and hear what next year you come, you bring a better game to it.
And it's a great opportunity for the students themselves to get that kind of exposure and experience, right?
Definitely.
Excellent. So March 16th at the Princess.
Yes.
People can be able to go and see the 10 submissions that were made for this year's Sagicor Visionaries Challenge.
Yes.
Time?
9 o'clock sharp.
9 o'clock.
And we're asking people to please
Be on time.
be on time, respect time.
Yeah. All right. Well, we want to thank you for joining us and giving us an update. And of course, as we pointed out, we've had a Belizean school win at the regional level, the first competition, and we're hoping that we'll have that happen again this year too.
Definitely. We are looking forward to having a winner this year.
Okay.
And thank you for having us here too.
Yes.
All right. And now it's open, because since Bishop Martin hasn't submitted, it's anyone's game now.
It's anyone's game. And so we have $10,000 for that school. We have an all paid expenses for 7 days for the leading student and the teacher. And they will be in Tampa, Florida.
They get to visit the
All the
Kennedy
tours,
Space
yeah.
Center, NASA, and
It's
Epcot Center.
a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yes, once in a lifetime experience. All expenses paid.
Excellent. All right.
You can't wish for nothing else.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Remember to mark down that date. It's March 16th at the Princess Ramada Hotel, and you can definitely check out some of the innovative work of our Belizean students. We have to wrap up our show at this time. We want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us this morning. Remember, if you want to contact us, you can contact us at oye@channel5belize.com, Marlene_oye @channel5belize.com.
And William_oye@channel5belize.com. Have a great day, everybody, and be sure to join us tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes
and your heart
open.